Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Anne Manera, and welcome to today's live color along. We are coloring volume 10. There should be audio now. Can you hear me now, Chris? Can you hear that, Chris? Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Anne Manera. So, let's see. Good morning, everyone. We've got Color Along Volume 10 starting today, this morning. Yeah, hey, Jason. I usually start out with, I mute it when I'm getting, as we begin, because, I don't know. I don't know why I do that, but I mute it now because I can. Okay, hey, Lynn. So, good morning, everyone. So, we're going to give it a couple of minutes for everyone to get here. But for those of you that are already here and you're early birds, I appreciate it. And today I'm using Faber-Castell Polychromos to color our first page from Color Along Volume 10. 10. Can you believe this? 10 volumes of Color Along books. I can't. So we're coloring a page from Color Along Volume 10. We're also going to swatch our colors this morning. So I have a bunch of stuff here on my desk with me today. I have my Faber-Castell Polychromos, my 12-pack. And I've got my Color Along book, and I have my Bursting Mandalas book, because the page we're coloring today is actually from Bursting Mandalas, so we're going to do a flip through of that today. And I also have this color chart from my Coloring Page Color Charts book, which you can actually get these pages on my website. Also, you can buy them as a PDF so that you can print them. But this book has, there's 100 pages in here. So this is a big, chunky book, as our friend Marianne likes to say. And we are charting our colors that we're using this morning. So we've got a lot going on. We've got this page here. So if you have this book, you're part of the Color Along Volume 10 private group. And if you do not have this book yet and you would still like to purchase it, you can purchase it at any time as we're using this book, and then you can go on and we'll add you to the group. So let's give the dog a bone, get yourself something to drink, get your pencil sharpened, and we'll begin in just a couple of minutes. Okay, dogs have been occupied with their bones. Good morning, Judy. So let's say good morning to everyone first of all. Paisley and Scarlett say good morning to everyone. Good morning, Amy. Hey, Bonnie Miller. Judy's here with us this morning. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Heather and Jason and Chris. Who else is here? Hey, good morning, Diane. Diane is buying tires for her car. But I'm sorry you're not able to color today, Diana, but at least you can chat more, right? Hey, Bonnie Hughes. Julie, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Lynn Miller. Good morning to Holly. Who else is here? Is anyone else here today? Pam. Hey, Pam's here with us this morning. Good morning, Pam. Bev Larson has joined us this morning. Alice. Hey, Alice. How are you today? And Adina is here from Israel. That is the coolest thing. So I don't know how many countries we have represented, but I think by just a quick glance here, we have England, Israel, Canada, and the U.S. Anybody else from any other country that's here this morning? Do we have anyone here from Australia? Or from South America? I don't know. What a nightmare, Chris. My street is under about 6 inches of water as we speak. No, Jason, you're kidding. Hey, how about all those floods in Italy? We don't have anybody here from Italy, do we? That would be so cool if we did. Not because of the floods, but that would be cool if we had someone from Italy. It's always crazy when there's all different countries represented, isn't it? So let's see what's happening here. All right, so we've got this page from Bursting Mandalas, and we are working on Color Along Volume 10. It's kind of opening day. And my apologies for having to reschedule this from our typical Monday to a Tuesday. Good morning, Miss Melody. And then tomorrow we'll resume again to our regular scheduled programming to the Wednesday coming along. And then next week we'll go back to Monday and Wednesday. But had to have some work done at my house yesterday, so it was going to be a little too crazy to have both happening at the same time. And I also thought to myself, how can I have work done at my house and be sitting here talking to myself? The person's going to think I'm nuts. So decided to opt for sanity yesterday and change some things around. So I appreciate you all hanging out and taking care of and being with me this morning. Heather says there was a tornado here last night. Oh my God. You know, we had a tornado in my area a couple of weeks ago and people were horrified by it. And I don't know if I've never had to deal with tornado warnings or tornadoes. It's not something we get here where I live. Good morning, Cindy Lamb. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, let's see. I've got my Faber-Castell Polychromos, a gift from a really nice friend. And I'm coloring Bursting Mandalas with blending and shading with colored pencils. And I thought this would be a great way to kick off Color Along Volume 10. I keep calling it 12. Because I think that kind of like blending and shading with colored pencils, to me, is really just like the basis of coloring. That's kind of like the basics. It's like coloring 101. If you can blend and shade with colored pencils, then you can take that same skill and the same things that you learned and that same technique, and you can go on and do it with chalk pastels, oil pastels, gel crayons, markers, anything else. So I kind of consider, even crayons, I kind of consider it like the baseline of coloring techniques. And then on Wednesday, we're jumping into just a purple pencil. So if you have not seen this schedule, it's on my Facebook page that has all of this whole book all planned out up until January 30th. Can you believe it? What a commitment there. And take a look at that, and it tells you all of the different mediums that we'll be using. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my page from my coloring page color charts book, and I'm going to write down the book name, and then I'm going to chart my colors as I color. So our book here is Color Along Volume 10. And I'm also going to put here that it is from Bursting Mandalas in this book, because it is also from, this page can also be found in Bursting Mandalas. You put the name of the person that is the artist, which is me. And then I'm using Faber-Castell Polychromos. I'll put that here. Now, some people chart before they color. I don't do that because I'm not that organized. And besides, I like to be a little more spontaneous and reach for the pencil as I'm going. So what I'm going to do is take a look at, hey, what do we got? What do we have here for our page that we're going to color? And let's begin. Are we ready? We all talk to ourselves at some point in our life. We do, Alice, don't we? I do it all the time. I don't have to worry. If they think I'm crazy, then people will not bother me. I know that's true, right? It's like, yeah, exactly. It's like, what's that saying? Eat cake because no one wants to kidnap a fat person or something crazy. Some crazy thing like that, right? Hey, Marvin. So I've got this 12-pack of Polychromos, and I'm going to tell you, I love, 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 love these pencils. However, if you were going to, they're a little expensive. So if you were going to invest in Polychromos and you're really kind of drooling over like the 300 pack or something, and you're thinking to yourself, I'm never going to be able to afford these crazy pencils. Well, let me tell you, get the 12-pack and you'll be fine. Lynn Miller, you talk to yourself all the time too? Do you get an answer? There's the question, right? There is the biggest question of all. Scarlett apparently talks to herself in the background. I don't know. So I'm going to use this one first, and this is called Light Ultramarine. Say that 5 times fast. So let's swatch that here. What's the matter, Scarlett? She took your bone again? Oh, hang on. Scarlett needs help with her pencil. I don't know. What happened? Oh, well, you can get that. It's not a problem. Here. Oh, this one. Go ahead. Lay down with your bone. Go lay down, Paisley. It's okay. I don't have anything, Paisley. So this is my ultramarine, light ultramarine, and then I'm going to write it down in this little box that's here. So you can either write the name or you can write the you can write the number. Jason is saying polychromos are expensive. Wow, those polychromos are expensive. They're equivalent to $33. They are expensive. I agree with you. And these were actually a gift. These were a gift from our friend Melody Jones. Melody sent me these. How sweet is that, right? Always amazing. The coloring community is full of the nicest people. Don't you guys agree? So I'm going to start out here with this flower, and I'm going to go heavy pressure at the begin, like at the middle. And then as I get to the end, I'm going to just kind of ease up on my pressure. So it just becomes shading of this particular petal of the flower. And I'm trying to use the same pressure, and we can always add more, but you really can't take away, right? Hey, Marianne. Now, if you talk to yourself and start an argument, you might have problems. Oh, I think I kind of do that, Alice. I don't know. My dogs argue with me. I did actually see someone getting out of their car a couple of days ago, and they were arguing with themselves. So how about that? I thought there was another person with them, and then I realized they were totally by themselves. And then I said to myself, run from this person. I don't know. So I've got just kind of that, see how it just kind of went from a darker color, and you just kind of want to transition into a lighter color, or transition from light to dark or dark to light, that type of thing. I love the Melody. I think of you every time I use them. Alexandria, good morning, my friend. So, what's happening in the coloring world? Anything exciting? Any new giveaways? I entered a couple. I don't even remember what the heck I entered. Sometimes there's just too many. I'm going to continue on with all of my petals with this. Hey, Martha Carter. Do you see that all the time too, Holly? Crazy, isn't it? Marianne's going to be a copycat, and she's going to use her polychromos too. Awesome, Marianne. What is it? GTMA? Isn't that what it says? Great minds think alike. So, what was I going to tell you guys? I don't know. What is happening in the coloring world? Anything exciting? Seen a lot of amazing finished pages from Snowman Frenzy. I don't know. What else is going on? I've got a podcast going. I finally started my podcast, right? Have you guys had a chance to listen to my podcast? My first episode was on, I think it was Friday. And my first episode, I talked about digital art and how it applies to the coloring community and in coloring pages. And my goal is to do a new podcast every Friday. So my next podcast, actually, on my next episode, no, my next podcast actually is going to be about virtual friendships. And it's from an article that I had written a few years ago about virtual friendships, and I'm going to, I need to tweak it a little bit to apply it to virtual friendships in how we become friends in the virtual world and online, and what we all have in common, of a common theme of art. And Marianne, thank you. Marianne says, love your podcast. Thank you so much. Diana is saying, I'm sitting here at the tire shop laughing out loud. Yes, people are moving away from me. Maybe I should tell a funny joke, Diana. No, I'm not going to tell a funny joke. You know, my dad actually told a lot of jokes. He was like, he always had a joke. And we have a book, actually, that well, not really a book, but a notebook with all of his jokes. And my mom and I have actually talked about putting it together and publishing it as a book with all of his jokes. But it involves me typing, and I hate to type. Hate to type. I'm actually trying to get my mom to be a guest on my podcast. We practiced the other night. It was so funny, actually. She's like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about, so I don't know. We might do it. Trying to get her to be a guest on my podcast, and I don't know what we'll talk about. Maybe talk about what I was like as a kid, as like what I would draw as a kid. I don't know. Something like that. What's the matter, Scarlett? She took your bone again? Hey, good morning, Sarah. Diana says, awesome podcast. Thank you, Diana. You know, I've been wanting to do that podcast for a couple of years, I guess. I think Alexandria heard me talk about it last year. And, you know, I kept thinking, What if I don't have anything to say? I don't know. So I just decided to go for it finally. Sometimes you gotta like stop thinking, stop saying you'll do it, and just jump in and do it, right? Hey, good morning, Abby. And then things just kind of you just gotta kind of do it. Sometimes if you plan too much, you kind of get a little intimidated by things. I don't know. Does anybody else feel that way? Or are you a planner or a doer? I think we have a lot of doers in this group. I'm kind of doing this like flicking motion with this pencil a little bit because I want it to be an easy transition as I get up into this upper portion of the petal or the wider section of it. And you can always add more. If I was using chalk pastels, I could certainly take away, but I'm not going to do anything like that. Hello, Heather G. You're both, Holly? Good morning, Ellen Pelkey. See, Bonnie's agreeing with me. Just jump right in and do it. Exactly. Like, what are you waiting around for? Shoulda, woulda, coulda, as they say. Just do it. I did have some encouragement from a few people in an author group that I belong to, and it was pretty easy. I just need to make sure that I'm consistent with it. So that's happening. Color Along Volume 10. Here's the beginning day, opening day, right? So that's kind of cool. I worked on Winter Camp, the Winter Camp book. What else? We talked about changing the name of these color alongs. I don't know if you guys heard me talking about that, but we talked about changing the name of it to try to transition it into becoming something more than just a simple color along like it's been. A lot of you guys call it a meeting, kind of a joke, we kind of started calling it a meeting a little bit. So we need to take this opportunity over the next couple of months to come up with something different to approach the new year. As we go into 2019, I'd like to have a new name for it. I have to say I'm a doer, Jason's saying. If it needs doing, I would rather do it than leave it to someone else. Yeah, I can't stand that. You know what I can't stand? Later. I can't stand saying, oh, just do that later. When is later? Later is a big, gigantic rock hanging over my head. I made a book out of my father's recipes, Lynn is telling us, from the Navy. Oh, very cool. Used photos from each page. I did not retype. Oh, what a great idea. Maybe I should just scan his handwriting. Chris is a planner. Yeah, I guess I am a planner. I'm a planner, but I don't do anything. Let's see if I can put it this way. I don't, if I plan it, I do it. Very rarely do I say, here's the plan, and then I just don't do it. Does that make sense? That makes sense, Chris? Diana's saying you're an encyclopedia of knowledge. Lynn told me this the other day. You really think so? It's awesome that you want to share it with us. That's why we love you, Anne Manera. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Diana. You think I'm an encyclopedia of knowledge? I don't know about that. What about my new book, Sarah is asking. Which one? I'm working on 4 new books this week. Yeah, plans never work out. Sometimes when you overplan, what was it? The opening day of the first camp, I planned. I wrote a script. I never write a script when I do a color along and when I do something live. I just wing it, right? Kind of have an idea. I sit quietly before I begin and kind of meditate, I guess, a little bit. And just kind of sit and just relax. And I never plan it. I never write a script. But coloring camp I did. What a disaster that was. Complete, utter disaster. The camera fell. It was just a mess. All crazy things happened on that day. So it was just a crazy, it was crazy. Crazy. Did I say it was crazy? She was a crazy list maker, Chris is telling us. Some people just make a list, but they never really do anything. Here is cadmium yellow. When something says cadmium, Encyclopedia, page 256, Diana. When something says cadmium, it means that it is probably it's the like the truest color, the truest of that particular color. Does that make sense? So if you were going to mix a yellow and a red to make orange, then you would want to use the truest form of yellow and the truest form of red. So for instance, this is deep scarlet. This probably is okay, but you would probably want to have a different red for that. You know what I'm talking about? The coloring addict meeting. Oh, that's kind of funny, Alice. Which book were you talking about, Sarah? I have 4 books that I'm working on right now. I have one that I'm working on that is going to be the snowmen from Snowman Frenzy, but they're going to be big. So I feel like I should call it like Big Little Snowman or something crazy like that. It's kind of like an oxymoron, like jumbo shrimp. And I'm working on Winter Camp, which is pretty much done. I just need to kind of assemble the book. And I'm also working on a Christmas book that is going to be with letters to Santa and gift cards and gift tags. And what else am I working on? There was something else. Oh, Diana finished, this is called Burnt Okra. Diana finished the entire book of Hypnotic. What an accomplishment, right? You didn't know the meaning of cadmium? It's like Pathalo. P-T-H-A-L-L, Pathalo. Pathalo's like that. All right, Alice, we'll chat with you soon. So I'm going to put yellow in the middle here. And I'm just going to kind of go with maybe a medium pressure. I guess I'm going to call it medium pressure. Then I'm going to go back over it with this burnt okra. And then I'm going to kind of give it a little bit more pressure there. And then I am going to add white on top of that because white is going to be my colorless blender. And I'm kind of blend it all together. And I'm working, so Diana finished Hypnotic. And I decided she inspired me to work on another book like Hypnotic. So it's going to be called Mesmerize. I think I'm going to call it Mesmerize, a mind-numbing coloring book. So I started coloring a page for that. So I jump around, jump around between the two. But I got to tell you something, Diana. When I did Hypnotic, and everyone, of course, I'm telling this. We're doing Secret Santa. Yes, we are doing Secret Santa, Melody. Secret Santa swap begins. I changed the date of Secret Santa. Let's talk about that for a minute before we talk about this crazy Hypnotic book. I changed the date for Secret Santa because I cannot imagine what's outside my window right now. All right, this is Pathalo. We are doing Secret Santa. My dogs are barking at my crazy neighbor who was on the roof, on a ladder, blowing leaves off the roof. Is that the craziest thing you've ever seen in your life? Hey, you guys, let's get down. I thought he was going to fall off the ladder. I said, now I've seen it all. So, Scarlett, let's be quiet, all right, sweets? Be quiet. So I'm going to use this blue color, the Pathalo blue. All right, so what are we talking? We're talking about 2 different things. Whew. Let's rewind. Secret Santa. Secret Santa is starting, I had it starting the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. But a lot of people told me that that was not really a good idea because they liked having it maybe closer to the first of the month. So check that out. We'll pop a link. I don't know. Can someone get a link and pop it on, pop it in this thread? Is anyone able to get the link for Secret Santa? Holly's always good at getting links for me. Can you get the link at all, Holly? Secret Santa group. And if you have never participated in Secret Santa before, here's how it works. It's called Secret Santa Anne Manera style. And what you do is you join the Secret Santa group. And everybody makes a purchase. It's like buying a ticket for $15. And the $15 ticket from my website gets you a coloring book, and you specify whether or not you want to send that person a PDF book or a hard copy book. Okay, so you join the group, you sign up with your ticket for $15. Then everybody is assigned a person. Once you get your assignment, then you let me know which book to send that person, and I send out the books. So there's a whole bunch of dates that are there. And I did it this way because it's a lot easier to keep track of it if it's only purchased on my website. I think we have like 87 people signed up. Thank you, Lynn. Lynn is popping the link there for Secret Santa. So you can click on that, go to that, you can register for that. And the date, it's $15 for a book, so it's something for $15 or I think that Lynn already did it, Holly. Thank you. Something for $15 or less on the website. You could buy them a book. You could buy them a coloring techniques class. You can buy them a gift card. And then everybody also gets two PDF coloring pages that go along with it. That will be exclusive for Secret Santa. So it's kind of fun. We make a lot of friends doing that. This is the third year. Is this the third year, you guys? I think it is. Chris, I think the boogeyman is out there. Jason, you didn't know that about the white? You pay by going to my website. If you go to my, let me see if I can pop the link. You pay, you've got to make sure you sign up on that link. I mean, I can organize it the other way too. But if you go to my website, let me see if I can find the link here. Go to my website. There's actually a page on my website, a link right at the top. It says Secret Santa 2008. I mean 2018. 2018. Go to that link and you can actually purchase the. You can click and sign up to purchase the product, purchase the gift, your person's gift. So I'm popping the link right here. So, you know, a lot of groups do a, Chris is talking, blowing leaves off his roof. It's crazy, right? It is a lot of fun. Melody's saying it's a lot of fun. She's right. A lot of groups do Secret Santa, and I've seen so many groups try to do Secret Santa, and people are just not, some people don't come through. So some people will sign up, and then someone will kind of bail out and never send a gift. And that's really disheartening, right? So I decided to do this a little different so that we would ensure that everybody got a book. And by doing that, in order to do that, in order to make sure that everyone gets a book, that's why it's set up where you purchase it right on my website. So I'm in control of it, and rest assured, even if somebody didn't, if whoever bailed, I always make up for the book. So Chris is saying he must be having a nervous breakdown when it snows. Chris, let me tell you, he could be a YouTube video gone viral. Let me tell you, he's out there right now on the ladder. I can hear it. So I'm going to take my white pencil on top of this to kind of blend it a little bit, to kind of mix it up and change the color a little bit. When do we stop paying for Secret Santa and paying, when is the deadline? I wish I knew the deadline off the top of my head right now, but I can't flip over to that page. Can I flip over to that page? You can pay for it now, actually. Let me see, I found it. It's hard to jump around on Facebook while you're live. Okay, so Secret Santa, here's the dirt. Here's the 411, as they say, as the kids say, right? December 1st, Secret Santa begins, and you sign up by this date. So you could sign up today if you wanted to, as long as you sign up by December 1st. And then on December 3rd, you get your assigned person. I'm the person who's assigning everybody. And then on December 5th, you choose your person's book by that date, and we go through that through messaging or emails. And then I ship the book by December 8th, and then on December 15th, there's a reveal list that's posted, and I track the orders, and I'm kind of like, I don't know, Mrs. Claus, I guess. Melanie is saying, my neighbor goes out every day and blows the leaves off his yard. This guy does the same exact thing, Melody. What is up with that? There's a guy in my area that does that every single day, and he lives on a very, very main road. And his house is like, the street has like a bend to it. Not really a turn, but kind of a bend. Where, to be honest, it's kind of hard to even go around that bend because you can't really see who's coming from the other end. And every day, every time I drive by there, he is out there with his blower in the street, in the middle of traffic. I mean, extension cord across. Is it like an obsession, an addiction? Chris is saying he needs to go volunteer at a soup kitchen or as a homeless shelter, that if he's got that much freaking energy. No, you know what I think he needs to do? I think he needs to go volunteer and go clean people's leaves that can't get out there and clean their leaves. That's what I think he needs to do. So many people can't even do that, right? Go do that. You know, isn't it funny how if we all kind of think about it and kind of talk about the crazy things that go on in our lives, we all kind of have like the same people around us? There's a whole thing. It's called the I don't know if there's 8 or 10 or 12 archetypes, where in every group of people, this is another piece of trivia for you, Diana. In every group of people, there are the same people. Does anyone ever hear that? I want, Diana says, I already signed up, I think. I want to pay today. Will it tell me I already signed up? No, it will not. I will tell you that. I'll know that. I'll keep track of it. The wind is good. Forget the wind blowing it off, Holly. It's so funny that he's outside that window and we're talking about him. But the leaves are still going to fall. The leaves are still on the trees here. We're not done. Sarah's saying, we had someone at work receive a gift, but never bought her person, didn't get anything, so the manager gave the girl a present. Well, the first year we did Secret Santa. Jason, now I'm adding the white here. The first year that we did Secret Santa, we had several people that did not come through and buy their gift. So I bought the gift for the people. So it was a little frustrating, but I wanted to make sure that everybody got a gift, that everybody got a book. And then you can also post in the group, and we're going to be talking about that as we get, I guess, like, I should start talking about it on that group, right? Kind of making more contact with everybody and really communicating with everybody about Secret Santa and managing it. But you're going to be able to also post what you want, your wish list. This way you get what you want. Right. Sarah's saying Tammy mows her lawn more than anyone I know. She's obsessed with it. She loves doing it. Good for her. It's kind of funny. Yeah, there's always one in every crowd, right, Abby? It's crazy. I don't know. But yeah, there's a whole list of these like 12 archetypes in the world. Like in a group, in any group of 12 people, say, you're gonna see someone that's like the martyr, someone that what are the other ones? Now I can't even think of them. Now that I'm talking to you guys, I'm having like a brain freeze. So this white is just kind of blending this together. Doesn't it look pretty, that color? See how the color just changes? It's so creamy. Melody says, when there was woods behind his house, we're fighting a losing battle. Someone is sending me a message saying, have you made contact with a Mr. D. Jones? What the heck is that conversation? Have you heard about that, Jason? Yeah, it's this whole, I gotta find more information. Where do you put, when you do your emails, you can put in there about Secret Santa. Yeah, I'm going to this weekend. I'll do it this weekend. Next email. Oh, Miss Paisley, you poor little soul. Here. Okay, so now we've got the background here. And let's see, this leaves a lot to the imagination back here, right? Because it's got a lot of different greens. I'm going to treat these as leaves, a lot of different spaces. So let's treat these as leaves, and I'm going to go with these two greens. And I can certainly add some white. I don't know what just dropped. This one is called emerald green. And this one is called light green. Let me tell you, these pencils, if you're reading these, do never use these pencils as a judge, as like a gauge to see whether or not you need new glasses, because they are in gold and you can barely see them. Does anybody else have this problem? Do you have this problem with these, Melanie? I was looking at them one day and I'm like, I think I need new glasses. And then I realized it was a glare. Is it called a brain fart? I guess it is, right? See how the white changes it? Isn't it amazing, Jason? Okay, so I'm going to start out with this emerald green color. And I'm going to treat these as leaves as we're going around the whole thing. And I'm going to start with the, like with this side of it and kind of go a little bit of a heavy pressure. And then as I get towards the right, I'm going to lighten up. And I'm going to do with every other. So just making a pattern. Nothing fancy. Just very simple. And this page kind of has a limited palette. Here's another one here as the every other. And here, the every other, I'm going to go that way. So as I continue all around, so I've got this one here, which is kind of going to be this emerald green color here. And again here. I'm going to go all the way around. I tell myself that all the time that I have a brain fart, Holly's saying. I don't know what it is. It's too much information is what it is. That's what it is. Too much information at once being thrown at you. I started watching a new show on Netflix, and I started watching Atypical on Netflix. Has anyone seen that show? I actually kind of, it's about this kid who has Asperger's, and kind of like a high school setting, the family setting. Not bad. Has anyone seen it? Namy is saying, I have other brands with gold lettering. Hate it. The light has to be hit it just right to read it. I know. Isn't it terrible? Okay, let's flip my page around like this a little bit. And I'm going to go with, again, making my way around. Making my way around the neighborhood of the leaves. So I'm going to pretend that these are leaves. Treat them like they are, using green. Folded my book in half here. Information overload, isn't it? Yeah, Lynn, I like Atypical too. I got to tell you, though, there's sometimes some things in that show that he experiences that's kind of like too much going on around him in the world. And I feel like I can relate. Diana, peace out. I'm driving out of here, and I'll watch the video in a bit in color. Okay, awesome, Diana. Abby, I live with brain farts. Every day, I'll be lost without them. I know, isn't it crazy? It's like you walk into the kitchen, and you're like, why did I come into this room? What's my reason for being here? It's too much going on, is what happens. And I'm a big fan of writing a lot down, so that I don't have to, what do they call it? Do they call it a brain dump? Is that what they call it? When you just kind of like have a lot in your head and you just need to kind of like dump it out. I don't know. Does anybody use stencils? And if you do, what brand? Holly is asking. The Bodyguard made you yawn, Chris? The Bodyguard had me on the edge of my seat. I also had nightmares. So I don't know about that. I'm gonna go with this one. I also started watching another show on Amazon that is, I don't know, I can never remember the name of it. So how interesting is this show? Not only can I not remember the name of it, every time I've started watching it, I fall asleep. Is that a good sign or a bad sign? I don't know. It's with Julian, well, not with Julian Fellows, but Julian Fellows that wrote Downton Abbey. He adapted a novel called, is it Dr. Thorne or Dr. Thornton? Dr. Thorne, I think. Anybody see that? Have you seen that, Lynn? Lynn, you always watch a lot of stuff, so I always have to refer to you, talk to you about it. Hey, Kristen. Jason says, I have to make lists for what I need to do at work, but I always end up doing something totally different, so I get frustrated by it. Okay. All right, so now I've got all of that section going on, right? We've got that color. And now I'm going to flip over to my light green. And I'm going to go dark where it kind of in the opposite direction. If that makes any sense. So I'm treating these all just like leaves. I like the combination of the yellow and the blue. I think it looks pretty. Patriot something on Netflix. Oh, the Romanoffs. I thought about watching that. I was trying to get away from watching reality TV, I guess. Wanted something I could, like, I don't know, sink my teeth into. Scarlett, I'm coming. What's the matter, honey? That bad, huh? All right. Camping with Jennifer Garner. Is that the whole name of a show? I'll have to check that one out. So this is book we're using is Color Along Volume 10. And if you have not purchased this book yet, you still can. You can still purchase this book even though we've started it because the color alongs are always available for replays. Oh, I used to watch those housewife shows too. How about Alaskan Bush People? I haven't seen that in a long time because I don't have that channel. So I haven't been able to watch that. They were hilarious, weren't they? Oh, The Good Doctor. Cannot stand that show. Cannot stand that show. I don't know why I don't like it, but I just don't like it. Something about how it's filmed. I think that's what bothers me about it. 911, Chicago Med. Chicago Med's not bad to watch. What's his name? That guy. What the heck is that guy's name? Or is that the fire one? The guy who's the Lady Gaga's ex-boyfriend. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? Yeah, don't they make you feel much more intelligent? Isn't it crazy, Chris? And some people live like that. How about The Real World? You guys remember The Real World? Anyone used to watch that? That was like the very first reality show like that. Back in the day, right? Okay, so my green is complete. Let's get my book a little organized here. I'm getting all discombobulated. And put some green in here and in here in this little tiny spaces. Kind of put that color green. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own green as I go along for this part here. That would look really cool if it was in gold, wouldn't it? Yes, he is very sexy, isn't he, Ollie? I agree with you. I love reality ER shows. Oh, that makes me like. Or how about shows that show house? I walk away thinking I have that disease. I have that disease too. Do you walk away like that? I can't watch those medical type shows because then I think I'm dying. I don't know. Does anybody else have that happen? The Greens are pretty together, aren't they, Bonnie? Hey, I had a great chat with Bonnie on the phone yesterday. Bonnie, that was thanks so much for giving me a call yesterday and taking time to chat with me. Yeah, we had a nice little conversation on the phone. It's always good to talk to one of you guys on the phone. Taylor Kinney, is that his name? Lynn says, we all had that syndrome in nursing school. Yeah, I think that's why I could never be a nurse or a doctor. It's bad enough that, it was so funny. I was emailing a friend a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking about my dog Scarlet. And I said, I just kind of slowing down a little bit. She's got some lumps, and we were talking about kind of like the dog ailments. And she said back to me, well, make sure that she doesn't have these following symptoms, blah, blah, blah. And I thought about it for a second, and I'm like, well, the dog doesn't have them, but I have all of those. So, I don't know. It's like, do you have what your dog has? So I'm doing this in like a burnishing technique, really heavy pressure. Chris is saying, my kids would freak out, though. I always had to wait until they were not home. What are we talking about? Wait a minute, what are we talking about? Thank you, Bonnie Hughes. Bonnie Hughes is saying it looks great. So I'm giving this a heavy pressure. So the Coloring Camp book for winter camp has all pages that are exclusively drawn for camp. And they're not found in any other books. So that's one thing that I did completely different this time around. And one of the pages, actually, I'll show it to you. Let me see if I have it. Do I have it? One of the pages is this one. Can we see that page? See if it comes up. Oh, thank you, Bonnie. It's going to come up in a minute, I think. All right, so one of the pages is this page that is this page from, it's actually my dog, Willie, that I had. He's no longer with me, but this is going to be the coloring challenge page for winter camp. So this page is not in any book at all. This dog is really, I mean, he's in a couple of books, I think, but he certainly is not in any book like this. And it was a lot of fun to draw that page. So I've been drawing individual pages for that book so that it has different pages. Oh, the ER shows Chris is talking about. Yeah, too much blood for little kids, right? Okay, let's flip back to this. You love it, Sarah? Thank you. Isn't he adorable? That's my dog, Willie. He's no longer with me, but Mr. Willie. Man of my dreams, I used to call him. So I'm not really going to do much else to this except add this particular green. I mean, I think I might go in with some white and maybe blend. What do you think? What do you guys think? Anything? Should I do anything else to this? Because sometimes, less is more. And this type of page would look really cool if it was framed, maybe to use as a Christmas present for somebody as we get into the Christmas season. Ellen is saying, my two favorite colors, blue is my favorite and green is my second favorite. Always my favorite colors. They always look so nice together, don't they? And that little bit of yellow just kind of gives a nice contrast with both the green and the blue. And the heavier the pressure is really just called burnishing. So you want it to look like it is just like, first of all, completely opaque. I'm using, Heather G is asking what kind of colored pencils. I'm using Faber-Castell polychromo colored pencils today. And you can go over to my website now and you can click on recommended products and you can see links now to different products that I love, want, use, recommend, right? And you can see all of those on my website now. Okay, so what the next section is this one right here. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit of white. Now that I'm really looking at it and think about it, just a little bit of white, Marianne, onto this light green, but not on all of it. So just to kind of change it up a little bit to give it a little bit more dimension. You could easily achieve the same look using the same technique with crayons or with chalk pastels. So like I was saying at the beginning of the hour today, is that you can, that colored pencils are kind of like coloring 101 in my mind. You want to really, if you can blend and shade with colored pencils, any brand of colored pencils, then you can blend and shade with any brand of colored pencils. You can also blend and shade with crayons once you kind of get this technique down, and then you'll be able to apply that same technique to chalk pastels, oil pastels, gel crayons, and even markers. So I think that it's important to kind of get your feet wet first and kind of really master colored pencils. Of course, that's just my opinion, right? All right, so I'm going to take this white color. I'm not going to swatch my white because I don't know. I'm just not going to swatch it. And I'm going to go with this section here and just kind of add a little bit of white. Not a lot. And I'm doing a heavier pressure on the lighter portion and a lighter pressure on the darker portion. So it's opposite. Just to kind of give it a little bit of a creamy look. So you can kind of see the difference between this and this. Let me just pivot my page, as the Friends people say. Hey, so this Saturday coming up on November 10th, well, in addition to this week, we have a color along tomorrow for volume 10, this one right here. We're using just a purple pencil tomorrow. And on Saturday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm coloring a page from my friend Nola Hinsel's new coloring book called Like Clockwork. I was going to say Crockwork. Like Clockwork. And I don't know if I printed out the page yet. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I did. Here's the page we're doing for Nola's book, Like Clockwork. I'm so excited to do this on Saturday night, 8 o'clock. I'm hoping she's going to co-host. I hope. I have to talk to her at some point today and figure that out. So that's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday evening. Okay. Shouldn't have done that one. My error. Ooh, my bad, as they say. Well, the replay will be there just in case you miss it. So the replay will definitely be there. So this one, I'm going to put down what I used on this page, actually. I'm going to put down here that I used Faber-Castell Polychromos. And we completed our swatch page for this. And really, we only used 6 colors. We used light ultramarine, cadmium yellow, burnt ochre, Pathalo blue. Love saying that. Nola is so nice. Nola is very, very nice. Nola is very, very creative and has a lot of good, a lot of good ideas. She and I exchange a lot of good ideas about different books and what to do and bounce things off each other. She's a walking encyclopedia of knowledge. Let me tell you, she has a lot of information about a lot of different things. Emerald green and light green. So those are the 6 colors we used. And I'm going to even put the date on here. So that we know when this happened. I can look back when I'm 90, right? In my rocking chair, looking out of the sunset. And I can go, oh, remember that when we did that. It won't give you my old person voice, but anyway. Okay. All right, so this page can also be found, thank you, Mamie. This page can also be found in Bursting Mandalas. This is an easy on the eyes coloring book. And one of the people that I had in mind when I was designing this coloring book was our friend Connie O'Keefe. And Connie, I think, is my oldest coloring friend. I really do. I think she's one of, well, maybe one of 5 oldest color. Not old in age. Everyone will get a page from Nola's book. It'll be going out in the next couple of days. So this book, Easy on the Eyes coloring book, it has a little this belongs to page. And then, I mean, I would think that this is really not very easy on the eyes, this particular page, but it gets a little easier. So it's bigger spaces to color. It kind of like exploded versions of maybe the hypnotic type thing. Thank you, Bonnie Miller. And really gives a good opportunity to not only color something without getting your eyes tired, but also to be able to color something with different mediums and add your own type of flair, and really enough space to really kind of practice and just kind of, I don't know, just kind of have some fun with it. An 8.5 by 11-inch book, and there's 24 pages to color in this book, and there are 2 copies of every page. So this is available as a PDF on my website, hard copy on my website also, and of course on Amazon. Keep in mind, if you buy a hard copy book on my website, it takes about 10 to 14 days for it to ship. I don't really know why, but it does. So keep that in mind if you're ordering something as we get closer to the holidays, if you wanted it as a gift. I think I have a date listed on my website. It's kind of like a cutoff date that it should be ordered by such and such a date. Chris is saying, Connie has a heart bigger than Texas. Connie is a very, very, very nice person. She's one of the nicest people I've met, and she has a very, very big heart. And Connie is extremely supportive of all of my coloring books, as she's really supportive of really so many different artists. And I thought of her when I was doing this book because she wanted something that would be bigger spaces to color. And she was like, oh my God, you knocked it out of the park. This is great. I love it. And she does a wonderful, wonderful job with everything that she colors. I mean, as does everybody else. Have you really ever seen anything that you're like, ugh, that looks horrible? I really haven't. Everyone just kind of makes every coloring page sing, you know? So if you have colored a whole book in its entirety, the whole book from front to cover, I mean, you don't have to color the double pages, but if you've colored a whole book of one of my books, send me an email, send me all the pictures. You could message me with all the pictures from the book, and I'll turn it into a video. So far, we have videos that have been created by books that Lynn Miller has colored, a couple of them, right, Lynn? 2 or 3? Diana Mauricio has colored, just recently finished the Still Life coloring book, and she finished Hypnotic. My hat's off to you, Diana, for finishing Hypnotic. Oh my God. And you can, I think Alexandra is just about to finish Medley of Mandalas. Hey, if there's a book that's already had a video made of it, for instance, if somebody else wants to finish Hypnotic, I'll do another video for that too, so don't worry about that. Can't wait for this Saturday until hopefully Nola and you get together for a color. I hope that we're able to chat live. I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to try to get in touch with her later today or tomorrow, and we can figure that out. So here's the page that we colored today. So this book, Bursting Mandalas, here's the back. I mean, if you really want to color the back, you could, because this, or you could color the front of it, because this book, I need the pictures lit, Kristen, for Lazy Waves. I'll do a video. And Heather challenged herself to do Christmas Cheer. Right, Heather? Is that the book you're doing? Which one are you doing next, Lynn Miller? So you could color the cover of this book because it's got a matte finish, so it kind of feels leathery. You could color it with markers. Okay. So here's our completed page for today. And I used Faber-Castell Polychromo pencils for this, and just kind of stuck with a limited palette of only 6 colors. So what do we have happening for tomorrow? Tomorrow we have just a purple pencil, and let's find the page for tomorrow. I mean, I did not put the book in order. That would be just way too organized, right? Being Strong is the only choice I have. Here's the page we're coloring tomorrow with just a purple pencil. You can use any pencil you want, any brand of colored pencil, and that's what we're doing on for tomorrow. And then Saturday we'll be coloring a page from Nola's book, Like Clockwork, just in time for like the first week of clocks being changed. What a perfect book for that. And then next Monday we're working with gel crayons. So it's a page from Lazy Waves. Let's see where it is. And if you've never used gel crayons before, they're kind of like a toss between an oil pastel, a crayon, and a tube of lipstick, if you can believe it. I've never colored with lipstick before, but that would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? To use lipstick. This is the page we're using on November 12th with gel crayons. And then next Wednesday, we are using another page that is from Easy Mandalas. And we're going to kind of treat it, see if I can find the page. We're going to kind of treat it like it's a coloring challenge like we do at camp. And we're just going to use 5 colors. Any medium you choose, here it is. So that's what's happening. I'll be back tomorrow for a live color along for Just a Purple Pencil using this page. And in the meantime, for those of you that are in the color along group, go ahead and post your friends page in that group. And you can post for feedback, questions, and I'll have some more coloring tips that'll be posted by the end of the week for both of these color alongs based on the products that I've used for today and the product that I'm going to be using for tomorrow. So by the end of the week, each week, some coloring tips will be posted in the group. You can also check out Coloring Page Color Charts book. This is also on Amazon. This is a really nice book to have as a companion book to your coloring books, so you can swatch your colors like we did today. And lastly, the page that we used today is also found in Bursting Mandalas. So thanks for joining me, everyone, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.